Hi, my name's Will. I'm a dude. Today we're going to make some jewelry. Because you know what? Girls like things that dangle. Dangly earrings. That's right. Let's do this. First thing we're going to need is tools, which you should already own, because you're a guy and you're watching this to learn how to make sweet stuff for your girlfriend. We're going to need some wire snippers, which you should have flat-ended. That's how you cut your resistors as well. You own these, right? Next thing we got, rounded needle nose pliers. They keep everything round instead of looking like capital D's if we use normal needle nose pliers when we make our loops. Nobody likes capital letter D's except for Dan and David, and they're both stupid. Third thing we're going to need, these are bent nose needle nose pliers. They help us grip things that are a little bit harder to get at. Last thing we're going to need, some normal needle nose pliers. I suggest getting them without teeth because, as we all know, teeth leave marks. Next thing that we're going to need is wire. I got here sterling silver wire, 26 gauge. You can also get 24 gauge for about $1 a foot. You can also get much cheaper stuff that's copper clad in silver, and like spiders can smell fear, girls can smell cheap. Don't get that stuff. Last thing we're going to need is beads. Here we got some options. We can do plastic beads. This is like going out and buying a 24 pack of Coke, taking all the caps, drilling holes in them, running some yarn through them, and being like, here you go, girlfriend. It's a quick way to make your girlfriend not your girlfriend. This is what you give her to like break up or something. I don't know why they make plastic beads. The next option we have is glass beads. These can be anywhere from like 15 cents a bead to like $3 or $4 a bead, seriously. It's like called Swarovski crystal. And they're like diamonds made out of glass or something. It feels like a scam. The next thing we got going on is real gems. You can get like rubies, sapphires, diamonds, emeralds, or pearls. And they're like 50 cents each. Why don't more people do this? It seems like the legit way to go. Also, we're going to need some terminators. Not like the guy with the guns, but something to end our dangly earring. Otherwise it just dangles to our knees, like, you know, other things. So, this is an end piece. It's got a little bead on it. When we put a big bead on it, it just stops going and doesn't fall off. Alternatively, we have charms. These are these little things right here. They can be like fish, or dolphins, or unicorns, or unicorn dolphins. They're called narwhals, and they're made out of shell or sterling silver. They can be really shiny. Girls love shiny things. I'm pretty sure if given the option between a handful of really shiny tinfoil balls and a diamond ring, they would definitely go for the handful of balls. The last thing that we're going to need is a way to stick this on our girlfriend's head. This is a little hook. They come prefabricated out of sterling silver or cheaper materials. I get the sterling silver because the cheaper materials can turn your girlfriend's ears green. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to work essentially from the bottom to top. We're going to start with our end piece and we are going to work our way up. First thing we're going to need is about 3 inches of wire. Cut it a little bit long just in case I need to snip off a little bit. It's way easier to snip off than to try to glue wire back on. Trust me, it doesn't work. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to put our piece about where we want it. We want about a centimeter or so of wire to work with. So we're going to take this, remove the piece, bend the wire up and over. And essentially what we've done is we've made a little loop. Now we can put our piece back on. Once our piece is on our loop, we go ahead and push the wire back over about where we want it. You'll have something like this. Next thing we need to do is we need to wrap it. So we're going to take our bent nose, needle nose pliers. We're going to grab across both wires there. So essentially we got like a little guy sticking up, and we got the long piece where we're going to put our beads. Hold on tight, and you can just wrap this around. And you want the windings to be as tight as possible. Once it's kind of questionable with your fingers, go ahead and grab your needle nose pliers and finish it off. Alright, you should have something that looks about like this. It's our terminator, and he is on the end. We got a little bit of a loop with some extra. What we're going to do is we're just going to snip that off with our wire trimmers. He's good to go. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drop some beads on this. Once we got our beads here, we're going to need to make a loop to connect the rest of the earring. To do this again, we take our rounded needle nose pliers. If you only have normal needle nose pliers, everything's going to look like a D, but it'll still work. We're going to hold them as tight as we can, bend it down and around, and again we're just going to wrap them as tight as we can, really tight spirals, so that nothing's going anywhere. Once we got 3 or 4 windings, we're just going to cut off the rest. Voila, we have our charm on the end of a dangly piece of earring, with loops to attach everything else to. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our middle bead, our larger bead. For that, what we're going to do is first we're going to attach a loop onto this loop. So again, we're going to take a piece maybe 2 inches long. Alright, so we got our loop ready. What we're going to do is we're going to grab across both of the pieces so we get them stuck together. And like so, we can still reach both parts. We're going to take the short end, and we're just going to wrap them around the long end as many times and as tightly as we can. Alright, so a lot of the times the larger beads will have a larger diameter bore in them, so we can go ahead and get them over our windings, which just looks a little bit better. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the windings for the top. Again, we're going to grab with about 2 millimeters worth of wire underneath the rounded needle nose pliers, and we're just going to pull them over and then start wrapping. Alright, when we're cutting off the excess, we want to get as close to the wire windings as we can. Snip them off. That way we got like kind of a clean looking edge there. If there's anything like poking up, you can try to cut them off, or you can just kind of press them down with your needle nose pliers. Alright, so what we got going so far is we got our charm on the end, we got 2 little beads, we got our big bead, where'd bead go? Alright, so we got our next 2 beads on here. What we're going to go ahead and do is make the last loop that we're going to attach to the earpiece. So we're going to take this earpiece and we're going to slide it on the end. Again, same program that we've done every single time. Rounded needle nose pliers, give ourselves about 2 millimeters. Bend it over, bend it back underneath. Alright, if you look at it on end, it's going to look like something like that. If you have the flat needle nose pliers, it's going to look like a capital D because of that shape. That's why we have the rounded ones. Alright, so we got them bent over. We're going to take our pliers away. We're going to get our part that we stick in our girlfriend's head on the side. What we want to do is we want to make sure that when these things hang, they hang the same way. So you can look at it right now, and if this one goes in her left ear, this will be facing forward, and this one goes in her right ear, this guy will be facing forward. That's what we want. It's really easy to get like kind of directional things backwards. Don't do that. It looks bad. Again, we want to pull these loops as tight as possible. If we don't pull the loops really, really tight, it looks kind of cheap. And that's not what we're going for. Unless our girlfriend's name is Crystal, Candy Cane, or Candy Cane Crystal, and you're a pimp.